I'm a little, yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm like,
I'm like from the guy who directed the Fast and the Furious, and then I saw motorcycles and the Beastie
I
Boys
know.
things, and
It's
I
like,
was
come
like,
on,
I don't
guys.
know.
Come on now. So I guess I'm a Star Trek fan, obviously, but it's just, I don't know. I wish that they would, if they're gonna do it, let's do something that we haven't seen before. I don't want any more callbacks. Don't show me an old Spock. Don't show me an old Kirk. I don't want to see none of that anymore. I want to see a new Star Trek movie that takes it to the next level and
Well, I
goes.
think that does it, but it's just I'm a little concerned with stylistically.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going from kind of and we've got that admission from Abrams where he said, "Hey, I really kind of dropped the ball with Star Trek. I really like. I think the reboot idea was an interesting way to do it to
Yeah.
introduce the new characters, but still have that mythology behind it.
Well, those
But
characters are
introduce,
iconic. I mean, you cannot
yeah,
replace
you can't do
them.
like I mean they
You
did it with the
cannot
Next
replace William
Generation.
Shatner
Yeah,
without doing a time reboot. Like you can't say that
yeah,
William Shatner never existed. You can't say
exactly.
that Leonard Nimoy never existed. You
So
know, but
so you make this kind of. I
yeah,
think the way they did it was good. I think just with the second film, the Into Darkness, I just really think they dropped. Like I like the idea of the con. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I don't think it was a great movie, but I
yeah, I
just
agree.
think that I think it could have been handled a little bit better.
Well, the only thing to add to it is that that you have they're coming out with a new Star Trek episode of some type, a new TV series on CBS, where they're actually talking about not putting it on any kind of Netflix. CBS doing their own standalone service,
Mm.
and Star Trek's going to be the first one that's on it. So um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I probably won't see it on opening day, but I'll go see it in the theater, and I don't know. We'll see. So the
Yeah.
next couple that we have are some video game movies, and it's Warcraft. What do you think about Warcraft so far?
From what I've seen, I think the trailers it looks really good. I'm
Oh yeah,
very impressed. I was worried that it was going to be kind of shitty and cheesy.
yeah.
It looks really really good.
You
So
just
I'm very impressed.
you said the
I'm
same thing I
excited.
said. I thought I was worried. I was like, God dang, you're going to screw this up. And I think that if they do what the trailer did, it's going to be awesome. And actually, this is it going to have story to continue, right? This is not just a one movie. Is this a multiple possible movies for
I
this?
think it's going to be kind of a standalone story, but I think it's with the whole Warcraft mythology. I think it's just going to open up that possibility for more there.
Gotcha.
I think, especially with the genre of like sci-fi kind of fantasy, movie theaters have learned that if you have something that people really like, you can't just make it closed off.
Right. All right. So we got Assassin's Creed movie that drops later in the year. Oh,
Assassin's Creed's coming out.
I'm pretty excited about that, but
I
I am
am
a
too.
Assassin's Creed nerd, so
Yeah, I like. Well, I'm a big Michael Fassbender fan,
yeah,
so I'm interesting to see. I think that whole the Assassin's Creed universe. There's just an amazing amount of things that there's just so many possibilities.
yeah.
I think it's such a well established mythology with the Templars and the Assassins and the Pieces of Eden. You can go so many places with that. Just the following the struggles through different time periods. I think it's what they've done with the game. I think that lends itself to a really good cinematic tale.
It's really, and it actually is really sad because some of the games in the past have been kind of wonky as far as controls and not being
Yeah,
ready for release. But the story is
yeah. I think the story's
awesome,
always
man.
been
Like
good.
the
Yeah,
story is always awesome. I almost wish they were novels and I would have just go through it, And I sort of played the games, at least the first couple ones, as if they were a movie.
yeah,
Even three where they go back to back to the United States, Native American, it had a lot of problems, but the story was solid.
yeah,
And a little spoiler on, not really a spoiler, but the news on Assassin's Creed is that they're going to skip a year this year for the video game. They're not going to put one
yeah.
out,
I,
other than
I,
the side thing, which I don't really count those. But
yeah, the
like,
little platformer.
I don't know. I like that. It also sounds like they're going to the where it all started, and it will not to scare too many people off, but it's going to go biblical. I mean, we're talking like Egypt and
Yeah,
Moses and stuff like that. I mean, there's some really cool storylines that if you follow the Assassin's Creed series, that it could get really cool. We could their little twist on things could be kind of interesting. So.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So last one on the list, and it might be a little one. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or maybe what it's about, but it's Star Wars Rogue One. It comes out this year also. So
definitely comes out December 16th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. They say that there's going to be some twists in it. This is sort of like watching the Titanic. We know what's going to happen. They're going to grab
one
the
of those
things
really great. Yeah, I think it's one of those really great things because we know the story.
Right.
Many Bothan spies died to get us this information.
Oh yeah.
But now we're going to see how this whole thing came about.
Yeah.
How the rebellion got the plans for the Death Star.
There's already talk that Darth Vader's in it with James Earl Jones as the voice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I'm going to get a Star Wars film every year, so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I think I'm not as excited as the last one, but I am excited to see it. But I'm really looking forward to number 8 again. Like I want to see where that
I want to see where that story goes.
So those are the movies that we have. Not to keep rushing, but we're at about an hour now. So those are the movies that we have on the list.
I just wanted to pop in here.
Sure.
There's a couple, some ones that we didn't really talk about, and I'm sure we will as we get closer to them. But like he said, there's so many different movies coming out that it's hard to keep track of.
It's a great movie year.
We've got the Independence Day film.
Oh yeah.
New one's coming out. For your Pixar fans, Finding Dory's coming out this year.
Yeah.
That'll be a big one. We're also looking at the Gambit film slated for release this year.
Already?
Yeah.
That scares me.
I don't know how that's going to work out.
That scares me because they just figured out a director, I think.
Yeah, and then the thing is it's Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like Channing Tatum, but
it might be the one super.
He says I like Channing Tatum. I go, Jupiter Ascending, and then I just stop talking.
I think that would be the only superhero movie that my wife wants to go see. So
yeah, it's because it won't be about the superheroes.
I could probably trick her into selling her. It's like Magic Mike 5.
Yeah, Magic Mike 5.
Gambit, and she might go with me, and then that'll be. But I hope he doesn't fuck it up. I really do.
I hope he doesn't either.
Because that's a really cool character.
A couple movies, I don't know if they're going to be that great. We talked about the Harry Potter films, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm really looking forward to that. I think
that's going to be a good film. So far it looks like it has a really great cast.
Yeah.
One I'm not too interested in. It may be good. I don't know. There's another underworld film, and I think
we've had enough of those.
I don't know why.
I got it. A werewolf fucked a vampire. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. And the one I'm really, really disappointed about. It's slated for a Christmas release, but I don't think there's no mention of anything. Is a Jumanji reboot.
Yeah, why?
I don't understand. I think the first movie was so good that you don't really need to.
Why?
I mean, it wasn't excellently acted.
Come on, guys.
It was a good film.
Like, we have a lot of reboots that we talked about today, but come on, guys. Let's stop rebooting.
Oh, and we almost forgot the last one.
Oh, God.
The one that they slid right under our noses. A lot of you guys probably saw Cloverfield. A lot of you guys probably said this is a really cool last movie. It was, that documentary style, guerrilla film shoot style. Mm-hmm. And what did we find out today, man? They went and made a thematic sequel, an actual sequel. Nobody knows.
Right.
But it's coming out in 2 months. They managed to somehow keep a film under wraps for like 4 years, and nobody knew about it. So I think that's going to be. I think that'll be interesting. I think as we get closer to that, we might want to. Once we start learning more about it, maybe we'll talk about it on one of our upcoming episodes here.
All right, so we have to really power through the TV shows because we only have a couple listed here.
Yeah.
So Daredevil season 2, good. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's going to be awesome. I think the first season was excellent.
Yeah, Punisher's going to be cool. Not so excited about Elektra, although she does wear some scandalous-looking clothes, it appears. But
she's Elektra.
Yeah, bless her heart. So Game of Thrones, winter is coming, starting in April.
Game of Thrones is always...
What should you do if you have not watching Game of Thrones there, Rob?
Is just you got to sort your fucking life out.
That's right, man.
I mean, it's such a good story, but I think
I think it's awesome. We got 3 more seasons left, max. I think they're right now negotiating 2 more. Where that's it though. They're like saying because they have them for 2, and they're trying to just do 1 more. And my guess is it has something to do with the book. That I guess they know something's coming up and they need a little bit more time to make it all make sense. I really hope they don't fuck up the ending in this. Yeah, please don't fuck up the ending on this. Like, don't turn this into a loss. Don't screw this up for me, guys. Make this a really good ending. And I don't know. Yeah. That's the one I'm worried about. Don't fuck it up, please, guys. Don't fuck this one up. You can mess up anything else. Don't mess this one up. So you put The Expanse on here to fast forward a little bit. You said The Expanse. What's up with The Expanse? I haven't really heard much about it.
It's a sci-fi series, and I know people hear sci-fi and you go, "Oh shit, isn't that the guys who made Sharknado 1, 2, and 3?"
Right.
Yeah, they did. But they're also it's this really kind of I've just gotten in. I've read a bit about it, and a lot of chatter. People are saying it's a very good series. I started watching it. It's an interesting kind of. It looks to be like a sci-fi political thriller with. Kind of takes place between Earth, Mars, and what they call the Belters, which are people who mine the asteroid belt for materials. And there's a conflict building out of this whole scenario, and it looks really well good. It's got Thomas Zane's in it.
Okay, cool.
Thomas Jane.
Yeah, is that the MTV series? No, that's not the MTV one.
No, MTV series was the Chronicles of Shannara, the Stones of Shannara.
Yep, I could not tell you a thing about what that show is going to be about. The Shannara one.
I remember reading
really cool.
the books when I was a kid. The Shannara Chronicles. There you go. The books were really great. I remember reading them, and it's a great series of books. It's another one of those shows. There's so many out that I can't get.
The last one we have on our list is DC's Legend of Tomorrow, which, so this is how I feel about this. When I saw the commercials on the internet, I was like, awesome, looks pretty cool. And then when I read the description, I'm like, maybe I don't want to see it. Yeah, basically, the description was they go back in time and they find all these great people to become superheroes. And I don't know if they stay in the back time or if they come back forward, but there are a lot of people I don't know, but I got to give it a chance because it looked really good. It looked like a good teaser, so I should probably.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing for Brian to bring us up to speed on. He's our comic book guy. He knows a heck of a lot more about comics than you or I do.
So that's all the TV shows we have. We're looking forward to. We'll talk quick about tech coming up, only because. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but smartwatches, it seems like that's the new big thing. I have an Apple Watch, and it's just a glorified notification thing. Yeah. It just basically vibrates my wrist when I get text messages, and then it pisses me off if somebody keeps texting me. And I'm hoping that improves. There's some rumor that the Apple iPhone is going to remove the audio head jack, or whatever you call that, the head jack, input out of the phones, and that they're going to go to all Bluetooth or Lightning connector. So every piece of headphones that you've owned in the past, the ones I'm using right now on my computer, not going to be able to use on the new iPhones. At least if it becomes true. What do you think about that? Is that good, bad?
I don't know. I understand iPhone, but I at this point I'm like, look, we get it. You guys have things and they're popular and people buy a lot of them. But, can we just start focusing on making a really exceptional product that is going to be interesting instead of just some kind of yearly money grab? And that's what it seems like it is to me now. I'm a sucker for it, and I'm part of the problem because I sit there and buy the damn phones when they come out. But,
we have a listener.
Need a new phone every year?
Well, I'm okay with having a new phone every year. It's just as long as they don't make the software. Say that makes it obsolete, my previous phone. So, like, if you update the software and I can still run it on my iPhone 6 for another 2 or 3 years, that's fine. But I'm one of those guys that I like to have the newest thing out there. So,
Yeah.
There's no difference in having a new computer drop and now at least maybe not so much now, but back in the day,